I think that if you don't grow, then what does that say about you? Are you just going to stay stagnant and the same person? And that's boring. That's boring. We got to keep moving forward. And that's what every company led me to was that growth and that growth. And that led me to learning enough about business, about success, about failure that led me to being able to say, you know what? I've learned enough to be able to help others build theirs and know the pitfalls to avoid, know how to overcome the challenges, know not to make the mistakes that were very harsh learning experiences for me that they can avoid. And that's what brought me to another reinvention, another chapter. And that's where I got to meet people like you who are on the entrepreneurial journey. And it's been a true passion. But it also let me open a very large agency to let me work with larger companies who were already more established and needed more high end marketing and branding and more business strategy. And it was a way to balance both people within me.
Where you relocated? Where are you now?
So I moved from Annapolis, Maryland, and we just picked up. And one of our favorite places is Beaufort, North Carolina. It's this small little coastal town. And then we moved to Atlantic Beach, which is 10 minutes away. You would never know where it is. It's totally off the grid. Nobody knows. If you keep going down, you'll run into Emerald Isle. Everybody knows where that is, but nobody knows where we are. Nobody. Yep. I wanted some place where nobody could find us, literally. And I found it.
And I'm happy that such places exist in United States.
And that was the thing is I felt like the world was falling apart here. That's another thing that I think people sometimes feel like they need to drop off the grid, right? There's just so much contention. I felt like there was so much bad energy all around. And it was there's a lot of mental health problems. And I think there's a lot of stress. And I felt like the energy just wasn't positive. And I came down here and the energy is so positive that there's a part of me that isn't looking forward to going back there, even though our family is there, our friends there. We bought a new house and I haven't even seen it. It's sight unseen. I don't even care. And it's a quarter of the size I left, but it's a little bit bigger than this, and I don't even care. It's just so liberating. So when I say to people, reinventing yourself too is also releasing yourself of the things that weigh you down, that mean nothing.
Maybe not important for you anymore. Actually, it's one of the topics that it's so hard for all of us to rid of our some possessions, all mental constructions we were so valuing for years. But we thought that it's part of us, and when we clean out this layer, apparently we can live even better without it.
When my house burned down a couple years ago, we lost everything anyway. So we had already lost it. So we never really replaced it anyway. So at that point, the process was already in place. So it didn't mean anything anyway.
But sense of liberation, sense of being new Maureen, new inventor, and actually new ideas which coming when you feel content, I believe, or you feel more harmony and balance with your new stage of life. Yes.
Yeah. So it's interesting. We talk about people being fearful and hesitant, and I'm seeing this now every day with the AI revolution coming in. People don't want to embrace this. They don't even want to address it. My business people that I'm working with and even the bigger companies, they're like, you know what, it's a trend or it's a fad and I'm like, no, you don't understand. If you don't embrace this, you will be lost. You will be left behind. You will be the dinosaur. And I said, do you think Google? Nobody's using that. Facebook, social media, did you all just stay under your bed and not address it? I will tell you right now, this is the fourth industrial revolution. And so if you don't reskill, you don't upskill, and over 50 is going to get lost behind worse than anybody. So if you're seeing people being displaced now, it will be worse if they do not reskill themselves, if they don't give themselves a competitive edge to get back into the workforce. And so many of them have to work till they're 60 or 65, especially in this country now. And you're going to end up losing your job and not being able to save for retirement like you thought you would. You're not going to be able to keep your job long term. You will be the first to go because you don't have the skill set. And you have every opportunity right now to get in on it and future proof your income, your career, and your long term goals. But you have to be open to learning, to reinventing your mindset towards something like this. If you don't, you will not survive long term in a lifestyle that you want. And I'm trying to get that message out.
What exactly are you offering in this regard? And why I'm asking, because I already using several AI tools, which I feel match whatever I need to do with podcasting, with content creation. But I know that they growing, even the tools that I'm using, they changing every month, like new features, new release. What are you offering in your AI program? What kind of tools for what kind of purposes?
First off, kudos to you that you are even understanding what Chat GPT is, because no offense to the people I'm seeing, but they have turned it on, never even investigated it. The workshops I do, they absolutely, we have to do it right then and there. All right. So I do a lot of workshops, one introductory, getting them to feel comfortable with it, um, getting them to understand the difference between ChatGPT and Gemini, understanding that there are different ways to use them, really getting into the nitty gritty of the prompts and the frameworks, which make all the difference. We build full portfolios that are geared towards their specific industries because there isn't a one size fits all. So if somebody needs to be reskilled or upskilled in finance, your prompts will be different. Your portfolio's different. Somebody who's in health and wellness, somebody who's in healthcare, somebody who comes in retail. So if you are required to write an email, you need to know this. Brochures, social media, newsletters, any type of writing, the AI language models need to be mastered. Now, they are partners, they're your collaborators, they are your assistant. They do not replace you. So, I do not want anybody to think this is taking over and it's Terminator. And that's where that fear needs to be eliminated. Okay. This is a tool to make you better in your business. All right. If you don't want to own a business, this is where you can talk AI with an employer if you're looking for a job and say, here's my portfolio. This is where I can come to your company with hit the ground running. This is what I have created. I can even teach your staff the department I would be working in, where we literally build an entire portfolio. So those are for the job seekers. I also work with a lot of veterans. Veterans are coming out and are at a disadvantage because they've been in logistics, a lot of female veterans. We literally rebrand them as AI gurus when they come out. And they are at such a competitive edge at that point. They are moving right into learning about logistics because most of them have that background, predictive analytics. So, business people, we take it up a notch for them as well, especially in customer targeting, the really getting into chatbots, e-commerce. So it's just very focused and nailed down a little bit deeper. So we're signing a lot of government contracts in workforce development, helping these people get back to work, helping these veterans get back to work. And then companies are bringing us in to do these workshops to get their employees upskilled. So we have a lot of different arms to this company as far as teaching internally and then government contracts. And then I have my business owners who need to understand one, eliminate your fear and understand how you use it in your business, whether it's podcasting. Good example how I'm using it. I'm using it to write my book. Here I have all these videos like you would have as a podcaster. I'm just going to say, take it one step at a time. We're talking about so many multiple things, and I applaud you for doing 3 and 4, but that is your type of personality. You'll dive right into things. But I always say to people, like even my business people who want to go on social media and incorporate 4 and 5 platforms, and they're just learning. And I'm like, just pick one, just pick two. Go ahead and ease into things, right? If you are just doing social media in your business, pick one. All right. That's it. And so I don't want people, I'm all about simplicity. You know that. My one company is 8 simple steps. And I teach everything in 8 simple steps, one at a time. And simplicity is your friend. Don't rush it. Master one thing and go to the next. Read about things, right? And if you see something that is like 30 pages to read that they're trying to teach you, close it up. No, go on YouTube. I think YouTube is very helpful. YouTube videos, when you see 3 minutes, learn something in 3 minutes, great. If you see 30, click off. I also want people to realize if you're starting a business, you're doing a new endeavor, and you don't know something, find somebody who does. Okay. I always say if your car breaks down on the side of the road, okay, would you go ahead and watch a YouTube video on how to fix it if you didn't know? No. And so I applaud those people who say, I don't know something. This is totally out of my lane. I'm going to find somebody who can move the needle for me, move my business forward, help me. Emily, you did that. You hire coaches who know more than you because you value your business. You value what you're doing. You value your customers enough to learn to be able to help them. And a lot of people bypass this. So I say, take it slow, learn with simple steps, one thing at a time, and then hire people to help you when things are more complicated. Invest in yourself, invest in your business, invest in yourself too. Maybe you need to hire a coach for mindset for you. Maybe you need to find somebody, a health and wellness coach to help you get back on track. All right. Invest in yourself for your own mindset. If you need a reinvention and you don't know how to get there, okay. If you need a spiritual transformation, I've done this for 6 months. If you don't know how to get there, somebody like Emily knows how to get there. Then find out how you have somebody who can help you with it. Or else you just spin your wheels and you waste time and you get nowhere. And so that's the advice I have for people. And I don't know if that's the answer you want, but I just find a lot of people waste a lot of time when they don't need to because they think they can take it on and they have no experience doing it.
Maureen, you just get to the point because in this second season, which my official title is Reinvention Guides and Coaches, I have business coach interview like you. I have transformation coach, another interview. I have spiritual coach, even several of them. I have one psychiatrist, one psychologist, and many different coaches because I understand again, there is no one size fit. And for different people at different stage, there are different needs. And I'm happy that I know these people. And now I'm looking for more people like this who can offer different approach, different point of view. And I ask the question for them to share what they do, how they offer, so listeners can select what they need at this or other point. It's actually the mission of my podcast to provide education. And I don't invite luminaries, but professionals who can help you reinvent yourself. So you're reinventing yourself, you're thinking about it, it's a concept, or listening stories of other people who already passed this stage or doing it now, or have some insight, or share some story. And you have guides and coaches which offer variety of options to learn from. And I'm promoting it this way because I understand how not easy it is and how confusing it might be what to do next. It's what I felt over the years. I climbed this ladder. Okay, I'm on this hill. Okay, what is the next for me? And everyone knows that reinvention can sometimes feel isolating. How do you foster community and partnership spirit among your clients and within your broader network to support them through the journey?
That's a really good point. I know in business, especially, a community is mandatory because you could be sitting in your basement with nobody. And it's so funny because I have a business coach and people are like, wait a minute, you're a business coach. Why does a business coach have a business coach? Every coach should have a coach. And if you don't, then I really question, why are you a coach, right? I'm hiring a nutrition coach because I don't know enough about nutrition and I can't seem to keep myself accountable, right? I think it would be amazing to have a reinvention community. Everybody's trying to work out their own reinvention and sharing that story. And I don't know if you have something like that, Emily, but what an amazing thing for people to all come together and talk about how are they reinventing themselves and work it out together too. It's a personal thing, but can be really helpful to talk together. That would be a great community membership thing. Once a month, they meet every month. And of course, that's something they pay for. That's a service that you would offer. And I think that's an amazing service you could offer for people that I, I think that's incredible. You would be amazing doing that.
I'm still working on the concept. And at this stage of my podcast development, the biggest problem for people to know to find me. And as I'm mastering my podcasting techniques, I believe the concept is shaped as well. But yes, for me, it's an idea. I cannot say marketplace. It's more community of coaches and people who reinventing themselves, and they have different needs at different time, and actually even personality. We like this type of personality, other type of personality, and it's actually open for everyone by free. But speaking about community, it's how I understand I can serve the community. And I even don't know yet exactly the parameters of this community. I define them people after 50 who looking for invention, who would like to have support and inspiration, or hesitating and they need this additional maybe story or something that would move the needle, as you say.
You know me. You know me. I'm always your coach. I'm always your coach. I'm always seeing opportunities for you.
Thank you. And I'm really thinking about it, about you in this regard. And by the way, reflecting on your successful career and personal growth, which is continuing, as we know, can you share insight or mantra that keeps you motivated and may resonate with our audience during times of uncertainty or transition? What is your fuel?
Took me a long time, and I have to tell you, I learned this from my husband. So I'm going to give him credit for this because so many things have happened to us, and sometimes I just didn't think I would be able to get back up. And he always said to me, Maureen, just keep moving forward. There is no backwards. There is no rear view mirror. Just keep moving forward. And it took a long time to adopt that. But once I really did, and once I saw what he has always seen, and he's the ultimate optimist. My husband's amazing. I'm a realist. He tells me I'm a pessimist. I am not a pessimist. I am a realist, but I now have adopted that mantra. And that's what kind of keeps it going.
So I understand that your husband has been your most significant source of inspiration and strength during difficult times.
And we've had a lot of those. So I would never have been able to make it without him. And it's been 31 years. Yeah. And now that the kids are grown and gone, and the last 6 months, we say, what's our next? Right? Where do we go? Yep. And so we now have a whole vision. And that's what these 6 months have also brought is good conversation about reinventing a marriage on top of not just personal, but people now have to look at reinventing relationships as well in their life.
Welcome to the club of reinvention, I would say.
I'm going to leave it there, right? Reinventing a marriage. And I think that's your next topic, reinventing relationships over 50. That's a big one. I've reinvented friendships. Some of them I dropped completely that weren't working for me, Emily. Got rid of them over these last 6 months. Don't return the texts. They're over. Reinventing relationships, reinventing my marriage. It's great.
I'm just amazed every time I meet you, speak with you. And yes, it's what is life about. It is what Age of Reinvention about. Reinvent yourself professionally, personally, relationship-wise. Vision of the future, your relationship with the world, your relationship with family, with people around and with people far away. Reinventing yourself for the new world to come, to be relevant, to be part of, and to be still person you wish to be, or you even don't know who you're gonna be in the future. And finally, what encouragement can you offer those contemplating a significant career pivot or entrepreneurship in midlife?
I would say to you that if you are passionate about this, if you are saying to yourself that I want more and I want to feel empowered and I want to control my destiny, I say, don't take the leap until you put all the pieces together. If you have a corporate job, don't leave it. Work off their money, work off their resources, do it behind the scenes, not on their time, of course, but put an exit plan together very smartly. And when you are ready to say, I'm embracing it, the time has come, go ahead and say, that's it. And enjoy every moment of the journey, no matter how hard it is. And make sure you get support for the things that you are not good at, and make sure you recognize it. Don't let your ego get in the way, or that business is not going to be as successful as you envision it to be. That's my advice.
Thank you very much. And today you were listening to Maureen Edwards. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you, Emily. Best of everything to everybody. And don't be afraid to evolve, transform, and reinvent yourself. It's actually quite liberating.
What an incredible journey we've embarked upon today with Maureen Edwards. Our conversation has shed light on the possibilities that await in midlife and underscored the importance of embracing change with courage and conviction. Whether at the cusp of a significant life transition or seeking to reignite your passion and purpose, remember Maureen's words. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. As we wrap up today's episode of Age of Reinvention, we invite you to reflect on your aspirations and the steps you can take forward a future brimming with freedom and fulfillment. A huge thank you to Maureen Edwards for joining us, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in. If today's episode inspired you, remember to subscribe, share with friends, and join us next time as we explore the landscapes of reinvention and transformation. Until then, here's to your journey of rediscovery and the bright future that awaits. Bye.